It should come as no surprise that The Division from Ubisoft is one of 2015's most anticipated games. That's because it is coming at us on Xbox One with some of the most spectacular graphics we've seen so far, amazing innovative co-op, and some really cool smart glass features as well. So basically we're going to spend some time looking at the two demos from 2013-2014 E3. John, what do you think?
Yeah, so the key thing we thought was an interesting little difference was how the HUD looks in the two games. So you notice in the 2013 demo, much larger, takes up more of the screen. 2014, been greatly condensed, much smaller kind of footprint there. And we've actually split this side by side so you can take a better look at it. Yeah, I mean, much not quite so subtle actually in the newer update, but taking up a little bit less room.
Yeah, I mean, it's interesting. There's, I think, from 2013 to 2014 E3 showings, we're just going to see these little subtle refinements after it's been sort of put through alpha, I guess, you know.
Same with the map. Here, you had to bring up the wristwatch. Map comes up. Looks really cool, really nice function of the game, something that really caught our eye. Latest demo, though, don't bring the watch, just instantly get the map up. Seems about the same level of detail, except one slight tweak here. You can zoom in.
Yes.
And then you can get a little pathfinder as well. So that seems like a nice little upgrade. And obviously, they're looking at speeding up the game a little bit, getting you access to this information faster. So yeah, I'd be interested to see if the watch thing still goes in, or if that's like a little quick trick. Other things that say roughly the same though, fire effects still look amazing in both demos.
I think that's going to be sort of like Destiny as well, you know, the graphical effects are really stealing the show right now, and it's, you know, fire effects and the little environmental damages and touches still look amazing.
UAV stuff is looking great for cross from 2013 into 2014. Here, if you notice, there's actually a little buff thing. So places it down, then everyone gets a 20 plus damage buff, which is really cool. In fact, the UAV has lots of different things it can do. It can target enemies for you behind cover, so you can all take them out. It can also be used to debuff enemies. So here's a good demo where you get to see the what happens on the tablet screen for the UAV. Target the enemy, select the debuff in the bottom right corner, and then lay it down on that enemy so everyone can attack it.
Yeah, I mean, the tablet stuff hasn't been as pronounced in their sort of marketing message this year, but I'm hoping it's still in there to the same degree, because it does look really interesting.
Then we're going to have a look at the sort of inventory and then the skills, which is quite interesting. Again, there's been some slight updates here. Bring up the watch, quite a lot to pick from. It's quite slow. It's quite involving, really,
quite
going through all those different skills. Yeah, absolutely. And then 2014 demo, much simpler, just a little side-scrolling thing on part of the HUD. Yeah, very subtle. In fact, we've slowed it down, zoomed in here so you can see it a little bit better. Yeah, it goes in. You can see there's a gun turret there. It picks the Firefly, but much simpler, much quicker. Really good for sort of on-the-fly attacks. And then we've looked at some of these different things we've learned. So we know about the Seeker grenade. Pretty cool.
Awesome.
They've got this shock landmine, which is pretty interesting. That could be quite an interesting tool, quite a cool thing to use. Here's the Firefly in action. A bit of a strobe light, almost like a mobile flashbang, which should be quite effective, I think, in battle, probably mostly against AI, I would imagine. Flamethrowing turret. Fancy one of those, Josh?
I do fancy one of those. Maybe not in my house, because that's a recipe for disaster. Or one of these, because I don't want fire all over my floor. But okay, you know, I'm happy to have it in my arsenal.
That's a slight variation on the Seeker grenade. I actually prefer that one in a way, because it does a lot more impact. But here's a slowdown of that menu again, so we can just have a look at what we've got there. Domitable, that seems like a bit of a perk sort of thing. Makes yourself a bit stronger. Adrenaline boost probably as much the same. Looks like there's some voice kind of stuff. So yeah, all sorts of little tricks and tools in there for you to pick from. But gotta say, 2013 into 2014, I think it actually looks better now than it did last time.
You know, Ubisoft haven't toned down the graphics, they haven't toned down any of the spectacular elements. Division just continues to look more and more impressive every time we see it, so we cannot wait to get our hands on it when we finally get to 2015.